Test, test. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every once in a while, I haven't used OBS for a long time. It forgets my mic and my desktop audio. Hmm. All right. So here's the idea for this video. Now that I've taught the Java framework to unload individual units, I was thinking of maybe trying to create some sort of bunker dance where I'm constantly popping the Marines at the front and constantly popping the SCVs at the back. And I think one bunker can probably support maybe like 8 units doing that. Upper Marine out, shoot, jump it back into the bunker, pop it out, shoot, pop it back to the bunker. Same with SCVs, repair, pop into the bunker, pop out. Because here's a scenario where -0, who I believe is the #1 bot on the ladder right now with some crazy win rate, surpassing Eris, comes out and just kind of breaks right out. Gets on top of the tank, focuses that down, then starts focusing down the SCVs. Yeah, and then assist. There you go from there. So I kind of want to mess, especially with stalkers. I kind of want to mess with their. That's true. It does depend what enemy I'm up against. If I'm against like Marines, this won't make any sense at all. But anything with a projectile attack, like a roach or a marauder or a stalker, I think I want to keep sending my Marines at the front to shoot, and then pop them back into the bunker. And same with SCVs in the back. There'll need to be some decision making and like, what do I do when I have like a 5 hit point Marine? Do I just leave it in the bunker? Or do I still keep trying to dance it? But I think, even if I had, say, 5 Marines and 3 SCVs, and there's only 4 container slots in the bunker, I still think it's probably enough to still be bouncing them. And then just a lot of projectiles end up missing. Yeah. So the first thing I want to do is I want to know how the mechanic with rallying the bunker works. I'm wondering if, like, on the exact same game frame, if I give a command to rally the bunker and a command to unload, will that work or not? Or does that have to be on separate frames? Because if I can do it on the same game frame, it's going to make the coding so much easier. Otherwise, I'll have to like kind of know in advance where the next unit is going to want to rally to. Yeah, and then it also gives you the ability to like, yeah, we've seen this with like humans, where if there's a spine crawler here, you send out the Marines to shoot the spine crawler. The spine crawler attacks a Marine, but the Marines pop back into the bunker, and then they pop out again and shoot the spine crawler. So you have the ability to kind of like shoot down cannons and spine crawlers without taking any damage. Now, the one thing is in the API, I have no information about enemy projectiles. So it'll just be kind of lucky if I'm dodging projectiles. It won't be by design. But I think as long as I'm going in and out constantly, it's you'll end up dodging a lot of projectiles, I think. Um, yeah, so let's start with that. Let's see if I can rally on the same frames. Let's do a little test bot here. Yeah. So let's spawn myself a bunker. In the middle of my main base. And I'll spawn myself a Marine. Same position. And then we can use something like this. Um, okay, so when the game starts, I'll spawn myself a Marine and a bunker. As soon as it's here, I will zero. As soon as it spawns, I'll just set it to this variable. Do the same thing for the bunker. At frame 100, which is like the 4-second mark, I'll load the Marine into the bunker. Smart move it into the bunker. Okay. Then, a few seconds later, let's try on the exact same game frame. We're going to set the rally points and unload the Marine. Abilities.smart works. That's just basically the right click. And I'll just point it at my spawn position. That's fine. I'll do the enemy spawn. For this test, I'll just do an unload all. Don't need to do a specific unit unload. Bunker.unit, abilities, dot unload all. Unload all bunker? I don't know what the difference is. Okay. Let's see how this works. Can you only unload to a rally point? No. But every time I unload my SCVs, I want to unload them behind. And every time I unload Marines, I want to unload them in front. So it's important for me to be able to set the rally as I'm unloading. And I want to see if that's even possible, or whether you're limited to one action per frame, per unit. Okay, running the wrong bot. Run the test bot. Okay. Apparently those spawned units don't spawn instantaneously.
Will do.
Looks like it works. So both commands execute. And if the Marine popped out first without a rally point, it would have just sat right here. That's cool. I was really hoping this would be the case. This is going to make coding so much easier. Let me just make sure the order doesn't matter. I don't think it would. What if we unload first and then set the rally points? Maybe the order matters. I mean, it's all happening on the same game frame, so maybe it doesn't, but maybe it unloads and then it sets the rally. Rather than them happening at the same moment in time. Actually, if this doesn't work, this is even better. Then I can like kind of use the ordering if I want to control. Like everything will just logically make sense. Yeah, if I couldn't do it on the same frame, then when I want to unload the SCV, I'll have already have to, the previous frame decided where that SCV is going. So that would be super annoying. Ah, okay, so the order does matter. This is like super ideal.
This better be good.
I don't know why I'd want to set a rally point after unloading a unit, but I like the fact that I have that option.
Ready.
So these will execute on the same game frame, and they'll execute in the order in which they're given. Because I know for any other unit, you can't give it two commands of the same game frame. Like I can't like cancel the production of a Marauder and create a Marine on the barracks on the same frame. But Rally Point just feels different. So I thought maybe it would be possible. Because Rally's not really giving an order to a unit. It's more just like giving it a state almost. All right. Sweet. Set that back to my main bot. The thing is, the built-in AI is never gonna. Well, I can spawn a bunch of units for the enemy. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So this is really ancient code I'm looking at for this bunker contain. I think this is the second build I ever did. I had the Banshee Viking build. And then I added in this bunker containment. So it's all over the map, but at least this giant method is split up really easily. So I already have a method for targeting down enemy units with a bunker. So I've just added in this one. So this is where I can put all the code for unloading the bunker. I guess before we do this, the one other thing I want to check is where's that testing bot? Let's do the individual unload. I think on one of my previous streams, I built this method. So this one allows me to unload individual units, which is something that didn't exist in the framework up until recently. So unload the unit's probably the bunker. And then the tag would be the Marine's tag. Passenger tag, the same thing though. Okay, so the bunker would have passengers. Or passenger units. What's inside those? Passenger units. So just a little bit of info on the unit inside. Just the health and energy of units. You can see the energy of units inside. Huh. So if you have a ghost inside a medevac, you can see how much energy the ghost has. It has the energy bar. I didn't know that. Okay, so I think this will align with the tag. All right, same idea. Oops, running the wrong bot.
Gangway, coming through.
Hmm. Yeah, I forgot how this works. Uh,
Why not?
okay, so the bunker has passengers, and the one passenger unit has a tag of, it's in 761. And the Marine has a tag 761. No, it's the same. Shit. This unload works in a completely different way than the unload all. I wonder. Yeah, use the feature layer. Okay, okay. So I think we'll just manually, yeah, so it's not going to be as nice as before, but I can manually make it so these unloads happen before all the other actions, each frame. And I think that'll be good enough. So I set the, no, sorry, I want this to happen afterwards. So set the rally point first, then unload. The other thing is, I may not have it turned on in this test spot. I think I need this. Feature layer. Feature layer is kind of the very human interaction of like box selecting things on the screen. For instance, you can do that with the feature layer, or clicking on something in the mini map. You can do it with the feature layer. Whereas normally our API doesn't interact with the screen at all per se. But since the API didn't have anything built in for unloading individual units, we had to go to the feature layer to unload it. So what this is basically doing is clicking on the, the individual unit in the bunker to unload it. Okay, so I don't think this will be too bad. Test spot launcher. Yeah, I didn't have it turned on. Ghost could even be from a bunker. A lot of people don't know that you can stim a bunker. Bunkers have a stim command as long as there's a unit within inside that has the capability of stimming.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Okay. In this case, I don't have to test the order. I know for a fact the order is not going to matter. It's always going to do the rally point before the other commands, which is fine, I think, for every use case I can think of. Because I commit all my actions, and then afterwards I commit the feature layer stuff. So this is where the unload command is, and this is where the rally point is. So it's always going to rally, then unload. Okay, so that works. So let's actually go to the real code now. All right. So what we need to do, we need to have a list of marine and pool objects. Um, and then for SCVs, When on weapon cooldown. Enter bunker.
Take thy beak
So repair
from
puts
my
your weapon on
heart,
cooldown.
and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven,
And then
nevermore.
load
Thanks for streaming, Ket.
CV from bunker. This is the difficult part. After a set time interval, I guess. Or maybe immediately. So when the SCV is inside the bunker, I can't read the cooldown. So I'll just have to know which game frame it did its repair action on. Throw in the bunker, and then bring it out of the bunker in time for when it can repair again. But the other option is throw it in the bunker and immediately pull it out. And the advantage of that is it still breaks any like stalker attack that was hitting the SCV, and it frees up space in the bunker immediately. So if I'm going to be cycling like 8 units into a bunker that only contains 4, then maybe that makes sense. It's also easier to code, then I don't have to worry about the cooldown of the SCV. And that'll be almost the same logic for the Marines, right? Hmm. And off weapon cooldown. Yeah, the Marines are going to be a little bit more difficult to do. Maybe I want to leave it in the bunker and when it gets low on HP. Interesting. All right, let's start with the SCVs, I guess. We have some very hard-coded stuff here. Scout SCVs. Repair SCVs. When the SCV arrives at the bunker, it becomes a repair SCV. Alright, good enough for me. Where am I giving commands to these guys, though? CV repair micro. What is it currently doing? So it's looking at all the injured units nearby. It repairs the first one. It looks like it prioritizes whichever unit's the weakest, which I don't know if that's good logic. Repairing a bunker is probably more important than repairing a siege tank next to the bunker, because repair works better on bunkers. Okay. So how do we make this logic work with the bouncing in and out of bunkers? So I think probably within this method is the code to jump into the bunker. Um, yeah, because I have a bot that plays SC2, and I'm trying to teach my bot to like dance in and out of bunkers with SCVs and Marines. Give it some impossible micro that a human can't do. So I think within this method is where I'll repair micros, where I'll decide when to jump into the bunker, and then I'll have that other method for when to exit out of the bunker. Um, hmm. Now we'll do something as simple as is repairing a valid target. Yeah, this is a little annoying. I almost want to get rid of all this logic, actually. Doesn't jive well. It looks like once an SCV is repairing a target, I kind of like leave it on that target. So I'd have to do it before this. Somewhere up here. So let's try that first of all. So look at the repair SCVs. If the weapon's on cooldown, CV dot. Wait, what the hell happened here? So if it's on cooldown, then we'll do that. Then we'll load it in the bunker. So I don't want to do the smart command because the smart command on bunker could be repair. So I think this is a moving command. And then all the repair commands will go on units that aren't trying to jump into the bunker. What is this method? What is this doing here? 100 units, looking for all the repair targets that are built that require repair that aren't an SCV. What is this doing? Any of my existing SCVs, I think this probably means it's like already repairing. Oh, this just keeps an SCV from repairing itself because that won't work. Okay, got it. Okay, that won't be any conflict. So I think this will work. All right, so that method's handling the jumping into the bunker. I already have the list. This is done. And just did the enter bunker. Now the unloading parts. So let's try just immediate unload. Yeah, so basically any frame where there's an SCV inside the bunker, I'll just unload it. I'll leave the position of where to unload. So unloading is two things, setting the rally points and then actually unloading it. Do I have any helping method for this? Yes. Get passenger index. Oh, but it's private. Now it's public. Do I want an action helper though? Or the unit utils. Okay. So for all my repairing SCVs, I'll look inside the bunker. and see if they're in the bunker. If they are in the bunker, then I'll unload them. And then I also have to set the rally points. Yeah, it's a Java. A little bit more verbose, we'll say, with some other programming languages, but it doesn't have to be. So here's what I'm thinking for the bunker. So if the bunker's like that, I feel like I should check. Like I basically have a big grid around this. Like I have a grid with an influence map on the entire map. So I can look inside this grid. Oh my gosh. Not the key I wanted to press. I can't remember PC hotkeys anymore. Undo. So I can look in all these positions and find which one has the lowest enemy threat. So if stalkers are over here, I'll pop out my SCVs over here. Won't matter too much for, I guess if the stalkers are far away, like over here, then it's good to jump on the far side. If he's jumping right on top of my bunker, won't matter too much. But if there's melee units like zealots or zerglings always popping out on the opposite side would be great. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. At the safest bunker position, and then we set the bunker's rally point. We can do that with smart command. And just basically a right click, and then we set to that position. And now we just need to write this method. So safest bunker position. What's the radius of a bunker? 1.5, right? So we're looking for a position with lowest enemy threat. As within, say, 1.2. Radius of a bunker is, but the bunker model is not a circle. It's more of a square. Let's start at like 1.7. Say to 2.5. So look at all the positions within there. Find the one with the low position with the lowest enemy threat. Is lowest not a word? Why is this underlined? Terminator may be missing. Whatever. Yeah, okay. How did I used to do this? Get these will get the threat at a specific point on the map. I don't remember how these influence maps even work. This is not the method I'm looking for. Oh, it's been too long since I worked in this code base. Yeah, get value. And then you put in the map, the position. Get value. Oh, I see map as a variable. Okay. Okay. My head's back on straight. Okay, so that's for an individual point. How do I want to do this? Maybe I'll just check like the four corners. Trying to recall, I've done something like this before, but I can't remember what it was. I could look up the code for that. When was I ever checking the four corners of a structure? Maybe when I was checking to see if I could place a structure, I checked the four corners for creep. No. Like maybe literally I just manually check the four corners. Maybe I check all these because I can put this in a loop pretty easily. And then I'll just ignore the case where it's dead center. So I'm checking these 8 positions. I think that kind of works. I can do that. That's just 2 loops. Say 1.7. 1.5 for the width of the bunker and then some. X equals Okay. So skip that middle position. Uh, okay. Safest. Okay, so let's check this position. So if influence maps dot get value threat to ground plus buffer threat to ground. Maybe this one. So if this value is less than the safest one, then that becomes the new best position. Okay, so we're looping through all these positions. If it's this one, we ignore it, but otherwise we're checking all of them. And whichever one has the lowest threat value, we're saving. So by the time this loop is done, we'll know the safest position, and that's the position we'll return. So position will be the position of the best X and the best Y. Y. Dot of. Okay. No? What's going on? Because I didn't initialize it. We'll just give it the bunker position initially. Okay. Now it's not complaining. X, Y, 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 X, Y, X, Y, best X equals X, best value equals Y, return value of X and Y. Okay. Yeah, so it's for those who came. I'll give another quick update on what we're building here, since it's not just a pile of code. We're trying to micro our bunker. Let me pull up a replay from that game versus -0. It's a good example. Downloads. So basically I want to dance Marines in and out of my bunker so that when stalkers shoot at the Marines, they'll often miss because the Marine will jump into the bunker and pop out to attack again. And then I want to do the same thing with SCVs that are repairing the bunker. Because a lot of bots try to focus down SCVs. That's something that's hard for humans to do, but something that's really powerful, and bots can do it. Unfortunately, we can't do this micro with planetary fortresses because PF doesn't have the ability to unload individual units. But you'll often see when my bot plays against other bots that repairing PFs is almost irrelevant because he'll just like instantly wipe out all the SCVs repairing. No, he's gonna go for it. So it looks like he goes after my siege tank first. Once the siege tank goes down, you can see he's going after the SCVs. So I'd like to be able to like pop them into the bunker. And like every bot's gonna be different, but his bot may actually start prioritizing Marines over the bunker as well. I think that would make a lot of sense. So if he starts shooting the Marines, and I pop the Marine back in the bunker every time, then the shot gets completely wasted. And if I'm bouncing Marines and SCVs out of the bunker, I think even though the bunker only has a capacity of 4, I could probably be constantly like popping in like 7 or 8 units. So right now I'm just doing the SCV portion. Every time an SCV goes on cooldown, I'm going to throw it inside the bunker. And every time there's an SCV inside the bunker, I'm going to toss it outside the bunker. So that will kind of create a popping in and out. But when the SCV is off cooldown, then it'll repair. And then as soon as it does one repair, it'll start popping in and out of the bunker again. Are you going to test it? I think I can play against my own bot. It's been a while since I've done that. I think I can do that through IntelliJ. I may have to use the launcher. -0 jumps my bunker. Although I think he deals this bunker contained differently now. Unfortunately, it was actually winning games versus -0. And when you win games versus -0, he fixes his bot, so you don't win anymore. So I think now he waits until he has like 12 stalkers and jumps down and instantly wipes this. even though I'll have a couple tanks here by that point. Yeah, either that or I'll just play against the AI and maybe just spawn a bunch of stalkers right in the face of my bunker. And now the AI is probably going to be too dumb. It's always going to shoot the bunker because it's higher threat. Yeah, I'll play against it myself. Okay, so we covered the loading of the SCVs. And now we've covered the unloading. So I think, honestly, that's enough, right? To start testing it. I'll just attack when the bunker has like 2 Marines inside. And then I'll try to focus down the SCVs and see what happens. Hmm. Here's one scenario I didn't think of. What if the bunker is full hit points? If the bunker is on full hit points, then my SCV will never be off cooldown, which means it'll never jump inside the bunker. So maybe I should just, while the bunker is full hit points, just constantly be cycling my SCVs and Marines in and out, just like nonstop. Yeah, okay. Let's, where the hell was that code before? Some dumb method up here. What am I doing? What does this return? I have a feeling it returns a whole number instead of a decimal. I don't know why I did it that way, but I do remember correctly. Yeah, I multiplied by 100. All right, so we'll cycle the SCVs into the bunker anytime the bunker is full hit points. Or the SCVs on cooldown. Okay. Okay, I think we can test this. If I recall how. Okay, so I'll have to do real time. Which hopefully Real time has its own issues. Hopefully that doesn't cause any micro issues here. Bunker contain weak, so there's no siege tanks. Simplify it. And how did I play against the bots back in the day? I have a bot called Nothing. Maybe that's what I do. I do two bots against each other, and then I'll control the one that's nothing. It's been so long. What? Oh, it has no constructor, which is fine. Why can't I? Looks like I never actually used that nothing bot before, so this may not be the way to do it. Where's my launcher? Here it is. Oh, how do you play two bots against each other? I can't remember. I'll try it. I don't know if this will work though. Okay, it's opening two windows. That's a good sign. I forgot to spawn myself some stalkers, so I guess I'll have to make some.
Not enough minerals.
Gotcha. Well, butter my biscuit.
Okay.
Yep.
Took a while for it to get going because of the real-time bugs, but it's working. Let's stop it for a moment because we got null pointer. We always run this code no matter what. That's why I do this check first. Let's do it this way, just get it done. Got to close the windows. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, loading from a current game state would be cool. I don't think my bot would work with that unless I do some editing. I think my bot's reliant on a lot of setup code in the first frame.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, looks like my
Gotcha.
bot's functioning. But I can't control this guy. I think maybe the first bot has to be the one I'm controlling. Why is it red all of a sudden? Oh, because that bracket. And maybe there's something raw effect selection. This may need to be false. Try this. If not, I think maybe saying this to false will make it so I can select units. Hey, Eldred.
Enough minerals.
Roger. Yeah, whatever. Yo, I'm going. Woohoo! Overtime. SCV ready.
Not
What
enough
on
minerals.
earth is going on there?
Yeah. Move it. You're the boss. Gotcha. Yeah.
Not enough minerals.
Butter my biscuit. It's your dime. Uh-huh.
No, the first spot's the one's going to run the code on. Right? I don't know how this works. Let's try it with this, with the set to false. Hmm. You can always tell by the cursor which window's which. Protoss cursor, Terran cursor.
You.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, so looks like my
It's your
bot's
dime.
working
Yes,
here.
sir.
Can I select these units? I cannot. Full screen, does that help? Help slow my bot to a crawl, jeez. It's coming back to me. I think it was as simple as just adding a second player that's human. Can't remember how. Interesting. I added this code. I have no memory of doing this. Where did I even get this code from? Resolution. Loud cheating layers. What does that even do? Real time is true. I feel like I'm missing one step to make this work. Window size. Um, Oh, that's okay. I can throw it in the external launcher. Let's do that. Okay. And da, da, da. Oh, before I do that, let's the launcher may not let me do debug commands actually. Okay, we'll just play Protoss normally. Build some stalkers. What was I doing? Oh, these are old maps. Hope they work. Will be max packs. I was actually thinking of playing Protoss again on ladder. I want to see if all those old builds that came up would still work. The Proxy Tempest and the...
Not enough minerals.
I'm going. Will do.
But my bot's doing the wrong build.
Gotcha. Move it. SCV ready.
Hmm. Strategy. I guess I should have at least run my bot once just to make sure the SCVs pop in and out of the bunker when it's full hit points. It's kind of silly doing all this if he's just going to throw an exception because of one of the bugs I have or something.
Roger.
Not enough minerals.
Map packs.
It's your dime.
Yeah, looks like he's building a proxy barracks.
You have not enough minerals.
real-time bugs.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Sure thing.
There's no barracks.
Roger. We hear you. It's your dime. Move it.
Alright, let's just play against the computer. The build has some like hard coding in it that's not doesn't jive well with all the delay issues that comes with real-time play. I'm not even sure my bot works in real time now, actually. It has been so long since I last checked it. I think it does. I have all my actions wrapped in
Yep. Woohoo! Overtime. You're the boss.
wrapped up in a way where it can deal with
Yeah.
delayed information
SCV
coming in.
ready. It's your dime.
Not enough mineral.
Gotcha. Will do. Yo.
This is in real time too, though.
Sure thing. Move it. SCV ready. Yeah, whatever.
It's working though.
SCV ready. Yeah. Yo. It's your dime. Woohoo! Overtime. Gotcha. Will do. Move it. Yeah, whatever. Sure thing. Yep. We hear you. We'll butter my biscuit. Yes, sir. Roger. Who wants some? Yep. I'm going.
Command center. Not enough minerals. Complete.
Uh-huh. Yo. You're the boss. Your dime. Yeah.
That's not good.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Yeah, whatever. Armed and ready. Gotcha.
It looks like the code just at the rally point's working.
Not enough minerals.
It's your dime. We'll butter my biscuit. Yep.
I mean,
Move it.
probably shouldn't be doing anything.
Not enough.
It's functioning.
minerals.
It's probably not well written. But the SCVs are not jumping in. Alright, let's change the launcher to not be real time. And we'll debug this. Do it against the computer as well. I think a cheater insane will can map hack, so it'll run out and kill the bunker before it completes. I think all the cheater difficulties of Blizzard AI, you can't really cannon rush them unless you start from really far away or bunker rush them. Stupid windows. Okay, this time should work. Well, it's getting to that point in the game. Let's throw down a breakpoint there. Yeah, so basically only when I am unloading do I want to set the rally points. Yeah, so somewhere this is never getting hit. I may have forgotten how weapon cooldown works. Not sure what 1 and 0 means. Which one means it's off cooldown, which one means it's on cooldown. Wait, shouldn't the bunker be full health? It's only 96% health. Problem right now is it has 4 Marines as well. So that's a bad test. Cooldown to 0. You know, in the game, when an SCV repairs, it puts their weapon on cooldown, but I wonder if it does that in the API as well. If it doesn't, then there's no way to know when your SCV is repaired or not. Ooh, that'd be That would kind of ruin this whole idea. Let's pull this to the side a bit. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely repairing right now. So they should not all be on 0 cooldown. If they are, then I'm kind of SOL with this idea. Weapon cooldown is 0. Yeah. I'm going to guess the weapon only goes on cooldown when they attack. See, Alpha Star never did this, so Blizzard never built into the API. It's supposed to be a shared cooldown for weapon and repair, but it's not updating this value when it repairs, only when it attacks. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to do this without this information. Yeah, I mean, I can look at the hit points of the bunker, but, say a situation like this. Okay, the next game frame, the bunker's hit points went up. Which SCV is the one that did the repair, right? Which one am I cycling in because it's on cooldown, and which one aren't I? It's like, that's annoying. Maybe Blizzard will update the API. I think last time they updated the API, the infested Terran still existed in the game. There's definitely no like repair cooldown, is there? I'm like almost certain it shares the weapon cooldown. You can't like repair and then attack like one right after the other. I could still cycle Marines. Don't have cooldown info. What if I remember the frame that I'm giving the repair command, and then I wait however many frames, and then I pop it into the bunker and out again? That will work as long as the SCV doesn't have to move before it repairs. So if like SCVs are getting in each other's way, then I'm going to end up popping in the bunker before it even does the repair. I think this idea is off the table. God damn it, Blizzard. Another thing missing from the API. Facing. Active equals true. That's true whenever it has an order, I think. So I can see that the SCV has the repair order and the target. I believe they don't update the cooldown for repair. That's so dumb. Rip. Yeah, so that's why they never jumped into the bunker. Let's get rid of all the stuff we added. Don't need this. Don't need all the SCV stuff. Don't need this anymore. And we don't need that. So now it's back to what it was. Okay, I mean, we can try it with the Marines, though. So this class does not control the Marines at all. By this Marine proxy bunker. I don't know how my Marines are controlled with this proxy bunker build. I walk them here. This code is from too long ago. Felt like when I first made these objects, there was like a on arrival method or something. Ah, so for all my Marines, when they get close to a bunker, and they enter the bunker. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll have like a new micro class for a Marine anytime the Marine is near a bunker. And then that can be the class that like bounces in and out. And that way it'll be useful for every bunker, not just the proxy one. And unlike SCVs, Marines do have an attack cooldown, so I think the code should work. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so I think this code is fine. Gets it close to the bunker, then it hops in the bunker. And then when I pop it out, I just need to assign it to the right object. I want to get all the bunkers. So get type instead bunker. Progress. I have a better method that already does this. Each deals at hey Dave. Get closest unit of type. That looks like a good one. Closest to the position of the Marine. Why? Oh, right. There's that unknown here. That returns an empty list if it doesn't have find a bunker. Okay, so return null. Distance was it 5.5? Should probably make that a constant. Actually, when it's 5.5, it gets sent into the bunker. So it doesn't have to be this high. I can go closer. Okay, anytime Marine is created, I create a basic marine. Otherwise, we're going to create a bunker marine. I should really get rid of this. I don't even use it. Where's that empty one? The proxy bunker one. Let's copy this. Let's keep tabs on the bunker itself. My brain. So one of these methods to return a unit in pool. This is enemy. Yeah. Well, these methods are exactly what I need. We'll just do another lookup. So we create this guy. I need to put in the bunker, which is okay. Okay, so anytime there's a marine near a bunker, it's going to be using this object. And we got access to what the bunker is. So now we just need to tell it what to do. And it looks like it already, my base object has decent enough code for attacking. Yeah, okay. So what do we do? So if the bunker's gone, then we'll destroy this object. And then next frame it will be picked up as a regular Marine. And then if I'm on cooldown, off cooldown 0, on cooldown starts at 1. Okay, so cooldown's greater than 0.1. We can shoot pretty quick. Let's say 0.2. Then I'll hop in the bunker. I have a method for this. I want to check to see if the bunker is full or not. No, it's not gonna get passengers. What is it? Like cargo or something? Cargo space taken. No, I have no method for this. Alright, so if the Marine's weapon is on cooldown and the bunker has space available, and we'll make a method for it. And we enter the bunker. I think that's about it, right? Okay. So the only other thing is unloading the Marines. Yeah, always look at plenty of rage when I play Ravens. Oh yeah, I definitely miss the Seeker Missile. Anti-armor missile killed the Raven. It's impossible to balance splash damage when the opponent doesn't have any ability to dodge it. Which made anti-armor missile impossible to balance, so they just made it do no damage at all. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to that bunker contain and yeah. So we don't have to track the Marines here. Don't have to enter the bunker here. But we do need to unload the Marines. There's a few more factors too. It's like, is the bunker fighting anything that does instant damage? Like a Marine. Like when an enemy Marine shoots, there is no dodging the bullets. If it's capable of shooting, it'll hit my Marine. So let's think here. So we're not going to do the off cooldown thing. We'll just always empty them, I think. Is attack enemy nearby? Or I guess I'm unloading when and no instant attack enemies are nearby. Is there anything to this bunker unload methods specific to my bunker contain? Maybe I should create a new bunker micro class that does that. I don't have that, do I? No. I think my bunker is on defense to shoot whatever. That's okay. We'll do this here for now. So at least it'll work for the proxy bunker. Let's create insta attack. Types. So I guess I'll just do this by memory. What units attack that don't have a projectile? Ignore melee. Marine. Ghost. Do I care about like sentries? Let's go with Terran. Instant attack. Tank. Siege tank. All right, let's go through bio. Marine, not Marauder. Ghost. Reaper. Tank, Cyclone, Hellion. And I guess Hellbats too, although that's kind of a melee unit, sorta. Air units. Viking, Banshee, Battlecruiser. Siege Liberator. It's everything for Terran, right? Missile turret, planetary. I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to have bunker in range of a planetary, but we'll include it. Just for future stuff. Okay, Protoss. Sentry, I guess, yeah, technically Sentry. Cannon. Sentry, Stalker. Archon. I mean, technically Templar, right? Yeah. I bet bots don't even attack for their Templar. And the Templar attack is so minimal, who cares? What other units attack instantaneously? Colossus. Can't dodge that. Okay, gateway units. Sentry, Stalker. Zealot, Dark Archon. Or Archon, I mean Dark Templar. Templar, Archons. Adepts. Adepts you can dodge. Immortals you can't dodge. Colossus. Man, it's been like a month since I played StarCraft. I've forgotten the units. What else comes out of the robo? Disruptor. Is it just those 3 units? Like a War Prism, I guess, and an Observer. Okay. And then the air units. I mean, I guess technically you can dodge interceptors, right? Void Rays you can't. Templar, or sorry, Tempest. Oracle. Void Ray, Oracle, Carrier, Tempest Mothership. Don't think so. We can move on to Zerg. I don't think I missed anyone. Okay, instant attacks with Zerg. Roach. Can you dodge a Roach attack? I want to say yes. I think. Okay, Roach. Ravager, yes, you can dodge that. Zergling. Hydralisk, you can dodge. Ultralisk. Festers technically don't have an attack. Although fungal would be annoying. Because I don't think you can enter a bunker while you're fungled. But we'll keep this set of units more generic. Just instant attack types. Locust. You can probably dodge Locust attacks. Corruptor. Utilisk. You can dodge almost every Zerg unit. Brood Lords, yep. Is there no Zerg unit that does an instant attack? Spines, spores. If they still had infested Terrans, those are instant attacks, but they don't have them anymore. Hydralisk. Baneling. Doesn't really have an attack, but I'll include it anyways. Queen. Queen is a good question. I know versus the ground, it used to attack with its arms. And you couldn't dodge that, but I have a feeling they changed that. It says talons. Okay, we'll include Queen. Here's a little known fact. Hydralisks actually have a melee attack that they only use when they're in melee range. It's It's rare for that to happen, and when it does happen, you don't even notice the difference. But it technically has a melee attack, which is kind of more lore accurate, because in like the clip scenes, it does like attack with its fists or whatever. Locust, Lurker, Broodlord, Viper, Ravager, Roach, Hydralisk. I think that's everything. Phoenix. You can dodge that. I did forget about Phoenix. I forgot about Raven. That's unlike me. Cyclone, you can dodge. Hellion, Banshee, Marauder, Widowmine, you can dodge that. Auto turret. You cannot dodge an auto turret. I forgot about Raven and I forgot about auto turret. Landed Viking. You can't dodge that either. Fighter, Assault. I feel like Assault is the ground one, right? I think so. Medevac. Liberator versus Air. Dodge that. Thor's. Cannot dodge a Thor. I think this is the Thor in the other mode, which is fine. They both do the same ground attack. I mean, you can dodge Thor for air attacks. So this, maybe in the future I'll need to break this up into air attackers and ground attackers, but don't think I'll probably ever care about the difference between those two for now. It's got to be everything by now, right? Reaper. Nuke. There's a nuke unit? I know the ability. I know the nuke dot. But is there actually a nuke unit that shows up on the screen that you can select right before it lands? Firebat. Interesting. PDD. Oh, we miss you, PDD. Okay, that's everything. Okay, so we got a list of insta attack enemies. Calculate position. All right, bunker. What's inside here again? Inside the passengers, we have the tag of the unit. Calculate the position. Okay. So if meets the criteria to unload a Marine, then we calculate the position where we want to rally the bunker to unload. And then we unload whatever Marine is inside the bunker. So now we just need to write these methods. Do unload Marine. So basically, I gotta check all this crap. So what is the range of a Marine inside a bunker anyways? It's the radius of the bunker, which is 1.5, plus 6, plus the radius of the enemy. So I think anytime a enemy's within 7. The one-shot potential is specific to each Marine. So I think we'll take that out of here. I'll put that up here. Let's get rid of the air for now. Turn true. Okay. Those are the ones want that. What is going on? Okay. I'll do something basic for now. It's so weird. It's one line of code. Why does I need those brackets? Okay, so if I have the criteria to unload Marines, then for each Marine inside the bunker, I'm going to unload them if they're above 10 hit points. And I'll make that a better calculation in the future. Do more of a risk of a one-shot. Okay, so back to unloading the Marine. Does this bot only put Marines in bunkers, never Marauders? At the moment, never Marauders. I'm also this code is very specific to my bunker contain. So it's not very generic at the moment. I will move it out to a more generic place later. But yeah, my bot's actually never made a Marauder. I have code for Marauders, but I don't think there's a single build in my bot that makes Marauders. I had a Marauder Ghost build versus Zerg at one point, but I changed it to Ghost Hellbat. Yeah, when I create a bunker micro class, though, I'll make it more generic so it's not Marine specific here. But that may be a day that never comes. Bunker unloading. Okay, so now deciding when to unload the Marine. So I want enemies in range. (1.5 plus 6, 7.5). What is the range of Marine again? Range has a range of 5. Inside a bunker is 6. The radius of the bunker is 1.5, so that makes it 7.5. So I think anytime there's a enemy within 8, we'll jump out and try to attack. No instant attack enemies. Some of these you can outrange the Marine pretty good. Maybe within 10 range. Okay. This one looks good. Is enemies types nearby? Enemy alliance. And then position, and then distance. So position will be the bunker position. And distance 10. And that returns a Boolean. Okay, so the other one is if enemies are in range of 8. Get units nearby. Sure. Position and distance. So bunker position, and the distance is 8. Load when enemy range, but no. Not. When there's no instant attackers nearby, and the enemies, the list of enemies nearby is not empty. Okay, yeah, so enemies nearby, but not instant attack types. Probably for performance, I should reverse these two. Not that it really matters that much. Oh no, no, the other way's better. This is an and. Okay. What language is SC2 originally written in? Don't know. Maybe C++, because that's pretty fast. But it's probably some game engine they have, right? For botting, you can write in any language. Java, which I'm doing, is definitely not the best to write in. There's some much more developed frameworks for writing SC2 bots in, say, like Python or C Sharp. Okay, so when those cases are true, we can unload the Marine. So the only thing we need to do is calculate where to unload. So how do we want to do this? We want to unload the Marine. Typically we'll unload it towards the closest enemy. But if closest enemy is like a Zergling or something, we don't want to unload right on top of the Zergling. We want to unload a safe distance away. So then we got here is to set the rally position. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna get a little complicated. It's 2 a.m. I gotta work tomorrow. I didn't realize this was going for so long. Okay, let's call it there. Fortunately, we didn't get it done. The SCV thing totally failed because this API doesn't tell me when the repair is on cooldown. And the marine dancing, we're just one step away from complete here. But I think this step might take me about 15 minutes to write. And then there'll probably be some bugs I need to fix, so I probably got like a half an hour of work left and I need to go to bed. So yeah, I'll pick this up another time. Maybe next stream we can do a split stream between actually playing StarCraft 2 and finishing this up. Yeah. Here's the thing too, like if you want to dodge a projectile, the further away you are from the enemy, the more likely you are to dodge it. So if I want to shoot this roach, I probably shouldn't hop out of the bunker right here. I should probably hop out of the bunker over here. Either way, they're in range of the roach. Or like, maybe I'm not, but say this is a stalker. Either way, I'm in range of the stalker. But if I'm over here, there's more time it takes for the projectile to hit the marine. So I have more time to jump back into the bunker. So yeah, when I might calculate the unload position, it's got to be like... that's difficult. The other thing is I want to be within range of the roach too, kind of. Because if I pop out over here, then the roach may just shoot the bunker. And I want the roach to shoot the marine. Because I want it to shoot and miss. Yeah, so I need to take into account the range of the marine, the range of the enemy units, and also what I want to shoot, right? Like if this adept is one hit from dead, then I want to target that adept. If I want to target that adept, then I need to pop out my marine specifically in range of that. Not just whatever the closest enemy unit is. A lot of factors. And obviously you don't want to step in range of any melee units. Like a Zealot or a Zergling. A lot to think about. Yeah, that last method's definitely going to be the bulk of my work. Anyways, with that, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm out of here. Have a good one.